Can you walk me through winning the car? Do you remember where you were when you got that call?
I do. So here's the story. It's long. I was the winner of the 2024 Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix charity auction. So I'd contributed to the charity early on. And then during the summer and some of these wonderful marketing emails that you get and they hook you in all for a good cause, I said, I'm going to win that car this year. I didn't win last year's car. And then the final day, I got an email that said, double your entries. So I said, I have to do it. I have to do it one more time. So I got in on the last day. And my wife saw the credit card. She goes, did you get in on that charity auction again? And I said, yes, I did. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to win that car. And it's for charity, right? So the day before the auction, I went to bed and I told my wife, I said, don't forget, I'm going to win that car tomorrow. And she said, Jeff, you're dreaming, go to bed. And the next day, I had watched the Facebook Live drawing the year before because I was interested in it. And this year I had it marked on my calendar and at work, and I got busy. So I was at work at my desk, and I knew it was around 2 o'clock, and at 2:05 my phone rang, and it was a 412 area code number. I usually wouldn't pick up a spam call, but I thought, 5 minutes after 2 o'clock, maybe I'll take this call. So I said, hello, it's Jeff Mattiuz, and there was just chaos in the background. And that's the best way to describe it. And I introduced myself again, and finally somebody came on and said, are you watching the Facebook Live drawing for Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix? And at that point, I started to get a little bit excited. And I said, I'm not. I was going to. And she said, well, you should have, because your name was just drawn to win the car. Well, I was darn near tears. I went to the website and made sure it was real, and made sure my wife, who isn't that good of a practical joker, didn't set me up. And I went to the website and I saw it was real. So I just walked out of my office and I went to the next office and I put my arms up and I looked at the guys. I was just standing like this, and they're like, well, what are you doing? And I said, I just want a car. And they're like, what? I said, I just want a car. And my friend at work said, was it the Prince of Egypt who needed to move money? Did you get an email that the Prince of Egypt needed to move money to a U.S. account? And I said, no, this is legit. I knew I was in this auction. I just want a car. And they didn't believe me. So I had to have her come over to my office and look at the screen, and we all celebrated.
And what would you tell somebody who's thinking about entering the GTW Sweepstakes?
Well, I've talked a lot. I've told this story many times, and I tell everybody, you have to play to win. You're not going to win that car without playing. So, I got in on the last day. That was the winning ticket, the one that I bought on the very last day. So, not that I'm superstitious, but I got in early, I got in the middle, and I got in at the end, and you really need to do that.